How was the nap?
It was a very long nap. I would say that's what sucks about it too. I had to read that off a phone and like put it in my words, and I was like, anywho, I'm going to bed. We're trying to sort out all the pieces and stuff to like get all this figured out and make everything right. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry.
No, don't cry. Don't cry. Everything's gonna be good. We're gonna be good.
So after Hailey Welsh finally emerged from her several-month-long nap, after launching her Hawk meme coin that immediately lost over $490 million in hours, she returned to her Talk Tuah podcast with YouTuber FaZe Banks, who apparently was just trying to hook up with her, stating he only agreed to do the show under heavy stipulations. And then the episode randomly leaked online, causing the coin to again pump from 8 million to 26 million in 20 minutes, then dumping 66% in 5 minutes, having FaZe Banks calling her team incompetent, stupid people. So before we get into what actually happened in that podcast, I'd like to mention when I originally covered this story, I called it out. She was just this overnight internet sensation that suddenly got sprung into millions of fans, an opportunity at making money, and was ultimately taken advantage of. The problem being, to this day, through this interview, you can tell she still has no idea what happened, how to prevent it from happening again, and doesn't seem to have a plan to make any of this right, other than parroting whatever suggestion sounds smart, which is exactly how she got in this situation in the first place. As most of this episode on her podcast was FaZe Banks and his team telling her what she should do, and Hailey deferring to her attorney.
Well, so basically how this idea got brought to me, it was supposed to be like a, what they call it, a long-term coin. And the guy that ran the account, he was like, oh, we're going to change like the way everybody thinks of crypto. Crypto's going to be a good place. And I feel really bad for all the people that got affected by it, and it just didn't go the way I planned. And all the money out of this episode is getting donated to all the animals that have been affected by the fires up here. Alright, you guys, I only got one sponsor left because there's some real ones and they've stuck with me since every bit of this started. So
Explain.
This idea got brought to me like months ago, and I was kind of, I don't want to do that. I don't know anything about it, and I've never heard the space is a good place to be. So I was like, I don't know about it. Which we trusted the guy that come to us.
We heard a little bit about him. Apparently he had like a pretty strong network in LA and kind of used that as leverage to, give himself a vouch. And I think the guy probably more or less overstated his qualifications in executing something like this, fair to say?
Well, really, everything went good, and then I noticed, like, the day of the launch, he was, like, a little weird about it, like, he was pacing around on the porch, and I don't know, it just makes you suspicious. And then we finished a podcast that day, and then I ended up going in that room over there to get on that live, where I was, like, scripted to say this, that, and the other, but put it in my own words.
This is what I think the internet always wants to know is, like, do they offer you money up front, part of the tokens? Like, how did that work? Like,
so the deal, I can speak to that. So the deal that she did was like a brand image likeness deal where they paid her $125,000 up front. They were supposed to pay her $200,000 after the launch of the coin within 30 days. 80% of the supply is still in control. The dev still controls 80%.
And who are they?
I do not know who the dev is. That was never disclosed to us.
basically, when you have a coin where people have a bunch of pre-sale, it means like a bunch of people got this early access to it.
That
so
normal people don't have access to.
That normal people don't have access to. And so I think it's less the problem that there's a coin and more just the way that it was done was.
So who has that, the 80%?
The dev.
What is
they
dev?
control the 80%, the developer.
And why anybody would take financial advice from her is beyond me, as she obviously knows next to nothing about crypto, investments, or anything that would signify her advice was a wise decision. But again, you don't dedicate hours of your day listening to Talk Tuah if you typically make sound financial decisions, as the only genuinely good advice she received was in the end.
How much total money has been received due to this?
$125,000 has
Been received.
been received.
Yeah. Basically what Frank just said in normal people terms is you take every dollar that you made on this and you mark it by this token and you lock it up. You walk away from it. You don't ever see that money. You can never touch it again.
It happened.
But,
Yeah.
Her buying in right now with what's on the market is there's 80%
Yes.
that's not available.
What does that mean?
Executed
What would have been the
launch.
best way she could have executed? Just for everybody watching this in any future, like, because I feel like this will be cited.
The best way to do it would have been not to do it.
I agree. I was just about to say that.
And no disrespect to Hailey and her abilities, she took a random viral clip on the internet and turned it into a career opportunity, which is more than most people are able to do. But she needs to stick to what she knows. No more apologies, explanations, or even trying to correct her mistakes. Just go back to what got you there in the first place, which sadly is making funny comments about adult activities. Some people may look down on it, but that girl behind the Call Her Daddy podcast is making millions. And as far as I know, she never tried to comment on crypto, start animal charities, or anything outside what her listeners originally tuned in for. The same way I have interests outside commenting on crime, politics, and viral internet moments, I know you don't click my videos to watch me play Minecraft or rant about the Boston Celtics. Saying stay in your lane or shut up and dribble is only seen as an insult to people that have an overly inflated view on their opinions on everything. Rich celebrities sharing their political opinions with us is about as valuable as me telling Patrick Mahomes how to read the blitz. It doesn't make me any stupider or less of a person because my opinion doesn't mean anything to him. It's just that as a society, we need to stop equating credibility with popularity. And maybe that'll finally stop these $1 million meme coin scams. But if you appreciate my concise, lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, hopefully I've earned your subscription on YouTube, and we can chat again soon.